Time for our business update, and I'm joined by Yuka Roya. Good morning to you, Yuka.
Hi, Delano.
Now, Emmanuel Macron is in Brussels for his first EU summit. He favors free trade, but he's talking about some protectionist measures.
Well, the French president promotes a Europe that protects when it comes to business as well. He's called for an EU-wide mechanism to curb foreign takeovers of important industries, especially by China. In Brussels, he said that being an attractive destination for investment didn't mean exposing Europe to dangers. Take a listen.
Je suis tout à fait favorable à ce que
I am very much in favor of Chinese, Asian, American, African, Middle Eastern or other kinds of global investment in the European Union. But it is legitimate to have controls in place when these sector investments are made strategically, meaning when they challenge our European sovereignty, our collective security or other sensitive areas.
And EU leaders are expected to agree this Friday to allow the Commission to explore ways to control foreign takeovers in areas such as energy and banking. But there is stiff opposition from some members like Poland that rely heavily on Chinese investment.
Now, speaking about globalization, Yuka, one American retail giant is making a lot of buzz here in France.
Costco, the largest American warehouse club, has just opened its first store outside Paris. Its formula of low prices and buying in bulk has created a cult-like consumer following that's been described as the Costco craze, and the company has been aggressively expanding into global markets in recent years. But will it work in France, where many people still prefer buying in local grocery stores? Emerald Maxwell takes a look.
It's a welcome that's larger than life, as a line of cheering employees greets Costco's first customers in France.
It's very surreal. You're not usually welcomed like this when you go to the supermarket.
The American retail giant built its reputation on bulk buying and rock-bottom prices. Now it's arrived to conquer France with the same formula. 1.5 kilos of pretzels for €6. A giant lemon meringue pie for 15. It's a break with tradition in a country where many still shop in small independent stores.
You never see jars like this in the normal shops. It's really great.
They're huge, cheap and huge.
Costco's philosophy is pile them high, sell them cheap. It shifts vast volumes by making customers buy in bulk. Shoppers here must also pay a membership fee, €36 a year. But how competitive are its prices? Can shoppers get a good deal in a store where designer underwear sits alongside chocolate spread? After success in the UK, the American warehouse opened a store in Madrid 2 years ago. But compared to a rival supermarket a few kilometres away, Costco's price differences are slim. On fresh foods, lemons are just 14 cents cheaper. Chicken is just over €1 less, and tomatoes are actually more expensive. For other groceries, the differences are more marked. Customers can save nearly €2 on ketchup and about €1 on sweet corn and toothpaste. In just 2 years, the number of Costcos in Spain has multiplied by 5. The company is hoping to repeat the success in France, with plans to open between 10 and 15 stores over the next decade.
And you're heading to the United States next, Yuka, where healthcare companies got a boost after Senate Republicans unveiled their alternative to Obamacare.
Right. Healthcare shares and hospital shares and other healthcare stocks rallied as much as 8% following the release of the Senate Republican bill, which is seen as more favourable to hospitals than the House bill passed last month. The S&P 500 healthcare sector hit a record high during the session. The Nasdaq Biotech Index rose more than 1.3%, closing at a one-year high. It's gained over 9% in the past week. Now, with the biotech rally, Nasdaq closed in the green, but other indices were mixed on Wall Street on Thursday, and Asian shares this Friday were mixed, but still made a weekly gain. In Tokyo, Nikkei closed up over 0.1% during the week. The Japanese index hit its highest level since August 2015. Big Chinese firms showed a mixed performance this Friday, a day after news of a probe into potential systemic risks posed by Chinese conglomerates caused shares to drop sharply.
And finally from you, Yuka, the French people's love of wine goes a long way, it seems.
Well, it certainly goes very deep. Take a look at these divers opening a treasure trove at the bottom of the Mediterranean Sea. The producers of Bandol wines in the south of France teamed up with deep-sea divers to store several hundred bottles of red, white and rosé in a cellar at a depth of 20 to 50 meters underwater. The goal is to see how sea currents, pressure and colder temperatures will affect the aging of the wine. The 120 bottles being brought to surface have been aging for more than a year and a half now, including the 2011 vintage red and the 2014 batch of white and rosé. Wine lovers may see them as holy water, but the sea wine is still just an experiment and not ready for mass production. I'm sure you'd like to taste that.
Interesting stuff. I just would assume the temperatures would be a lot lower so far down, but who knows?
Who knows?
Thank you very much, Yuka Roy, there with the day's business. Time for